Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So over the last day or so, I had a couple of problems with my taskbar, where my taskbar just disappeared. Now, it wasn't a setting or anything like that. It really just vanished, and I was left without a taskbar. And as you may well know, a lot of your functions that are launched in Windows are from the taskbar. So I was left with a bit of a challenge. Now, I actually resolved this issue. And I thought today just to do a video, like I did say I would do yesterday, just to show you how you can try and resolve this issue if you suddenly see that your taskbar has just so-called disappeared and is not available on Windows 10 and Windows 11. So here's a couple of things you can do without obviously having to reinstall and reset your whole OS. I would try these different solutions before you think of maybe doing a full reinstall. Now, first of all, the Windows taskbar may disappear because of a couple of different reasons, such as the auto-hard feature being enabled, incorrect display settings, or corrupt system files. So just to break this down into a couple of convenient steps to try and resolve the issue where your taskbar has disappeared. First of all, like I always say with most minor computer problems, try restarting your PC. Now, first of all, obviously, because your taskbar has disappeared, a lot of these functions we're going to carry out today in this video can't be done from the taskbar. So we're going to have to use a couple of keyboard shortcuts. Now, if you want to restart your PC, what you can try is using Alt and F4 on your keyboard. And then you can then head over to the shutdown Windows dialog and click restart, and then obviously you can restart your PC from there. Or you can use Control Alt and Delete simultaneously from your keyboard, and you'll find there'll be a power icon in the bottom right of that screen. Now, I can't show you that screen because my screen recorder will not pick it up because it's an overlay. So you can also use Control Alt and Delete, and then you click the power button in the bottom right hand corner of that screen, and you can restart your PC from there. And in most cases, I would say that a reboot may solve the disappearing taskbar issue, but it didn't in my case. So if it doesn't, restarting your PC doesn't resolve the issue, then we can try something else. Now, another thing obviously is to check if the auto-hard taskbar hasn't been enabled in the settings. Now, because we can't use the taskbar to navigate to settings, I would just suggest right-clicking on your desktop and clicking on Personalize, which takes you to the settings. And then you can just head to your taskbar section on the personalization page. And here we go. And just make sure that automatically hide the taskbar, as we can see, is not enabled, because obviously that will remove and hide and collapse the taskbar. And just uncheck that if for some reason that, or maybe you just forgot that automatically hide the taskbar option had been enabled. So if that still does not resolve the issue, then we can try something else. And that's head into our display settings. And it is possible your current display resolution could be incorrect. And obviously that could cause the taskbar to not appear properly. So once again, because we haven't got a taskbar, we click Personalize, and for this we head to System, Display, and here you can adjust your scale and layout. So I would suggest using the recommended. Obviously just use the settings that you know worked for you, but in most cases the recommended will work just fine for your display settings, for your scale and layout as an example, and that could also resolve the issue of the taskbar not appearing properly on Windows 10 and Windows 11. And then moving on to the next, and this could be due to a Windows Explorer crash, and this was the case with my problem, where Explorer.exe, which is the shell, so that's your start menu, your file explorer, your taskbar, and so on, that had actually crashed. And to get to your task manager to try and restart Explorer.exe, what you need to do, because obviously we don't have the taskbar to right click on and click on the taskbar setting, we just use Control Shift and Escape. So that's Control Shift Escape on your keyboard, and that will open up the task manager. And in the task manager, what you need to do is go right down to the bottom of the processes that are running. And here you'll see Windows Explorer, which is explorer.exe. And this is the actual shell of your computer, like the taskbar as mentioned. And what I would first suggest here is restart the task, or you can also right click on it and just click restart. And that could resolve the issue. Now, I did try that yesterday when I resolved this issue, but it didn't work. And then I moved on to a further stage where you can create a new task. So once again, you click on Windows Explorer, and here you'll see Run New Task at the top. Once you've highlighted Windows Explorer, Run New Task here at the top, you click on that. And then what you need to do is you must type in, instead of the default command, what you need to do is type explorer.exe. So explorer.exe, which is the shell, obviously, as mentioned. And then you click OK, and that will then obviously create a new task. And this is what solved the problem in my case. Creating a new task actually showed and displayed my taskbar once again, and I was getting quite desperate because obviously I had to get videos out for the day, and I found this solution online, and there we go, create new task, and that actually solved my issue. So it was a explorer.exe problem on my computer. And then if that doesn't work, what you can also try if you are quite desperate is to basically try and fix corrupted Windows system files, which is using SFC scan now from the command prompt. Now, once again, we cannot launch command prompt anywhere from our taskbar. So what you need to do is you need to use your Windows key and R on your keyboard, Windows key and R to launch run. And then you just type in CMD. And then what you need to do is, if you hit OK in run, it's going to launch it without administrator rights, and we need administrator rights to be able to run SFC scan now to fix corrupted Windows system files. So what you need to do is you need to use Control Shift and Enter. Once you've typed in CMD, Control Shift and Enter on your keyboard, and that will launch and run command prompt as administrator. And then all you need to do is type in SFC, leave a space, /scan now. So that's SFC space /scan now. Hit enter, and this will go through the process of trying to scan and repair corrupted system files. And I actually use this process as part of my weekly maintenance program for my Windows devices, and I recommend you do the same, because if there's any system files that are corrupted, maybe there's just one or two little system files that need adjustment, this in most cases should resolve the issue. And depending on the size of your drive and your system, this could take a minute or two to a half an hour, give or take, just depending on what the issues are and the size of your disk and what you have installed on your actual operating system. So there's a couple of things you can try and resolve the issue and fix a taskbar that has disappeared. And as mentioned, creating a new task actually resolved the issue in my case, and that was part of the FileExplorer.exe process from the task manager. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.